Okay, in this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 essential tips that every single beginner Forex trader needs to comprehend and needs to utilize, okay? And if you utilize these 5 tips that I'm about to give you in this video, you're going to progress so much quicker in your career. Okay, so many beginners, they stay in this hamster wheel of mediocrity. They stay in this hamster wheel of fucking up and making mistakes over and over and over again. They're digging themselves in a hole. They're losing a bunch of money. If you follow these 5 tips that I give you here, you're going to be ahead of the vast majority. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be ahead of the vast majority of beginner traders. You're going to have a big head start here. Okay. So here are the 5 tips. Number 1, get a mentor. This isn't a sales pitch. I don't need your fucking money, but get a mentor, whether it's free, whether it's paid, it doesn't matter. Get a mentor. Okay. Because I can tell you right now with certainty, 100% certainty, if I didn't have mentors right now, I would still be working that dead-end job. I would not be a full-time trader right now. I would not be a millionaire right now. I would still be miserable working that dead-end job, slaving my life away for pennies. I would still be in that position if I didn't have guidance. So my advice, drop the ego. Quit trying to do it yourself. Can you make it happen without one? Absolutely. You can make it happen without a mentor, but guess what? It's going to take you way longer, and that's guaranteed. It's going to take you way longer. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you get a mentor? You're taking find somebody who has what you want, and then reverse engineer and take their advice, follow their guidance. And of course, you're going to reach success much quicker than if you were trying to do it alone. Makes logical sense, right? So then always the next question is, how do I go about getting a mentor, all that good stuff? Well, number 1, you are welcome. Now there's a lot of mentors out there, but you are welcome to join my free Discord chat room. Okay, I post Watchlist every single day in there. And again, there's no sales pitch here. I do have a paid mentorship. It's closed, and it's closed until next year. And you don't even got to join that to learn from me. Okay. Yes, I give more time in there. I give way more time in the mentorship chat. And, I give a lot more one-on-one help, live streams, all that good stuff. But you can learn perfectly fine. You can get mentored with the free material that I have available. Like, I have so much free material. I've given so many free models on my YouTube channel. So many. Like, I've given strategies on a platter. I've given my A+ setups on a platter on this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. Okay, I post free watch lists every single morning in my free Discord chat. Every single morning. I post my levels. I post what I got my eyes on. And if you watch my YouTube channel, and then you go into my free Discord chat and you look at what I'm posting, you can kind of connect the dots on how I'm starting to think. If you do that over time, that's my advice. So if you want to learn from me, that's where you start. You start in my free Discord chat. You consume my YouTube material, and I got everything you need to be profitable. Maybe like my style doesn't fit you, or that's fine. You can find someone else, but I'm extending that invitation. If you do want to learn from me, if you do want a mentor, I can do that. I can provide that. Now that's number 1. That's gonna speed up your learning. That's gonna speed up your process dramatically. But number 2 is focus on one strategy. And I've talked about this so many times. Actually, I think I talked about it in my previous video actually. But it's very important. Don't try to juggle more than one strategy at a time. You need to be tunnel vision. Okay, you need to have your focus. You need to learn one strategy inside and out intimately. Okay. You need to learn the ins and the out. Quit catching shiny object syndrome. Quit binge watching different YouTube videos of all these different strategies. That's not doing anything for you. You're not even scratching the surface. You need to really dive into something. Okay? You need to really master something. You need to master one strategy. Does that mean you're going to be on one strategy for the rest of your life? No, not at all. Not at all. But you need to master one, and then after you master one, then you can add another. But most, as I said, they have not even they have not even scratched the surface of learning a strategy, and they're trying to juggle all this different crap, and then they wonder why they have inconsistent results. It's because you're inconsistent. That's why. If you focus on one, you master one. That's the key. That's key. Okay. So far we have established you need to get a mentor. I've extended that invitation. You need to focus on one strategy. Number 3, this is very important, and it's extremely important for your psychology. because we always talk about psychology and how important it is, and it is. It's more important than technical analysis. No doubt about it. Psychology is more important than technical analysis. And this third tip, it's going to help you build that psychology. I've given other tips to my mentees in regards to how to kind of final it off, how to, get that, as I always say, unfuckwithable psychology. But this one right here does a lot of the heavy lifting. This one tip does a lot of that heavy lifting. And if you do this and you do enough of it, your psychology is going to go to another level. Like you're not going to be you're going to build a good mindset if you do this. And it's collect data. Not very many people are collecting data. Okay. And it's not fun for most people, at least. It's quite boring. I find it boring, but it's important because you need to have that data, because it's a big difference having that data in front of you, telling you this is how my strategy performs over a large series of trades. It does a lot for your mental, because it shows you that you can be wrong, that you can have plenty of losses in there. But if you were to keep executing your edge over the course of like 50 to 100 trades, you're coming out on top long term. It helps you develop that long-term perspective. And if you don't do it, well, you're going to have a tough time developing that long-term perspective, and you're going to struggle. Okay. So that is huge. And I mean huge for your psychology. There's no getting around that. You need to collect data. Okay. How do you do that? Well, there's a couple different ways. You can back test, which is, the quicker way to go about doing it. You can get a lot of data in a much shorter amount of time through back testing, or you can do forward testing, which of course is a slower process, but both achieve the same objective. Like both literally achieve the same objective. You get the data. So do one of them. Just do one of them. If you don't got a back testing platform, well then do forward testing. Okay. Even though there's so many back testing platforms out here, it shouldn't be no problem finding one. But if you, for whatever reason, depending on what country you're in or something, maybe it's just difficult for you to find a good back testing platform, well then just forward test. Open a Google Excel, 100% free. Open a Google Excel and track it in there like that. Track your wins, track your losses, R made, R loss, all that good stuff. Okay. And then just do that, day after day, week after week, month after month. And before you know it, you're going to have a huge sample set of data that you have available to you. And it's going to do a lot for your mental, and it's going to build that psychology. Okay. So very important. So far we have established you need a mentor, you need to focus on one strategy, you need to collect data. Number 4. Now this one, a lot of people are going to click off when I say this. A lot of people are, but hear me out, and it's important. And I'm going to tell you why it's important. You need a paper trade. That's number 4. You need a paper trade before you actually go live. Now, don't give me the excuse, and a lot of you are already mumbling under your breath. Oh, paper trade, I ain't doing that. That's not real money, no real emotions. You build bad habits. I've heard all the excuses, and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Paper trading is very useful. Okay? Yes, I understand you don't have that real money emotional aspect. I completely understand that. But what paper trading does allow you to do is it allows you to find a strategy that you're comfortable with. It allows you to execute that strategy. It allows you to get comfortable looking for that strategy real time. That's very important. Okay. It allows you to get used to position sizing depending on your platform. I know some platforms, including mine, it, calculates all that for you, but some platforms don't. So it allows you to kind of get used to, putting in your lot size, etc. It allows you to get used to your platform basically. So the whole don't paper trade, it is such crap. You need to be paper trading as a beginner. Okay. And I recommend a 6-month consistent profitability on paper before actually stepping into the live market. Prove that you can do it there, because guess what? If you can't make it happen with paper trading, you damn sure ain't going to make it happen on live. Think about that. Really let that sink in. If you can't make it happen on paper, you think you're going to be able to make it happen on live. So why skip that step? Why skip that step? Yeah, it's still going to be a big leap. When you go from paper trading to live money, it's going to be a big leap, because now you got real money on the line. Now you in the game for real. I'm not saying it's not going to be a big leap, but it still prepares you, and you're still going to do better if you start off paper trading than if you didn't. You need and also another thing This is very, very important. And it goes back into what I was saying earlier. A lot of people use the excuse of bad habits, and some people, they do build bad habits from paper trading, but that's their fault. You need to treat it like a real account. I know. It's not a real account. It's not real money, but listen, just bear with me. Treat it like a real account. What I mean by that is whatever you plan to go live with, whatever you trade live money with, you need to use the same amount with paper trading. You need to risk the same amounts. You need to treat it as close to a live account as you can. Okay, as close as you can. And I'm telling you, it's going to do a lot for you. People hate on it, but whenever I hear someone hating on paper trading, what I hear is I want to make money right away. And I know with paper trading, I'm not making money. So that's not going to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to live money. I'm going to jump in premature. I'm going to rush the process. And guess what? That actually has the opposite effect. And they set back themselves in the process. They experience setbacks because they jumped in too early. They weren't ready. They didn't have a clear strategy. They don't know how to manage risk. And guess what? They lose a lot of money, more than they should be losing. And they set back their goals in the process. They set back their process. They set back their progress. Okay. And that doesn't need to happen to you. You don't got to have that. You don't have to blow up accounts. Yes. When I was a beginner, I blew up an account. I did. Okay. Cause I was stupid. I revenge traded like those same demons. Like I had the same problem starting off as a lot of you. We always hear like most successful traders, they have blown up accounts, and that's a common theme, but don't think that you got to blow up an account. Like it can be avoided. Now you're going to have setbacks. You're going to lose money. You're going to have all that, but you don't got to like dust your account. Like, and most people do, but that can be avoided. Like you don't got to lose all your money, the first time around before you make a change. You can, get off on the right foot. If you're really wise and you take the advice, you can avoid a lot of that hardship. Okay. Now trading's tough. It's a tough business. As I said, you're going to have those setbacks, etc. And you got to have that dog in you. You got to have that dog in you. You got to have that grind. You got to have that grit to make this happen. But you don't got to blow up accounts to make this happen. Okay. And this is the way you can go about avoiding that, is by paper trading. And lastly, we have the next one. So after you have that consistent profitability, 6 months, I recommend, and you get into the live market, when it comes to risking, how much money to risk, like we have all these numbers thrown around on social media, on YouTube. You like a standard that you see a lot is 2%. Like don't risk more than 2%. Don't risk losing more than 2% of your total overall capital in any single trade. We see 1% is probably the most common. And how much do you risk though? If you're a beginner and you're getting to the market for the first time, I recommend 0.5%. That's half of 1%. Okay, I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but you start as small as you can, and then you can gradually work your way up. Like you don't got to stay at 0.5% forever. You can work your way up to 1%, 2% after you build that cushion. Again, that's the thing. Build a cushion with 0.5%. Get used to that size, and then you can bump that size up a little bit later and gradually grow that as you build that cushion, and you get used to it. Psychologically used to it, because you know what's going to happen if you jump into the market as a beginner risking 2%. Most beginners, the vast majority, aren't going to be able to psychologically handle it. 1, 2 losses, you might be all right, but you get into the point where you're having 3, 4, 5 losses in a row at 2% risk. You're sweating. Don't tell me you're not going to be. You say that right now in the comfort of watching this video, but whenever you have that trade on and you see that P&L, you see that money dwindling in front of you, you see that P&L getting larger, you're losing more and more money, you're going to start to sweat. You're going to start to become fearful, and it's going to impact your trade. And I promise you that's what's going to happen. Don't start off risking 2%. That's later on once you're more experienced and once your psychology is at a point you can handle it. Start with 0.5%. Just like somebody who is going into the gym for the first time, and they're like 100 pounds soaking wet. They have no muscles on them, right? Are they going to go into the gym, and are they going to be lifting the same amount of weight as some huge jacked up bodybuilder? Is that scrawny 100-pound guy going to be able to do that? No, he's not, right? He's going to need to start very small. He's going to need to start with small weights, and he's going to gradually, over time, his muscles are going to gradually grow as he adds more weight. It's like the same exact thing with this, with trading size. You start with 0.5%, you get used to that size. You do it over and over and over again. Psychologically, you get comfortable with it. You build a cushion, and then you bump it up. Just like that, that scrawny guy in the gym. And then he bumps up the weight, and he starts lifting a little bit more weight, and lift a little bit more, lift a bit more. He gets used to it. He bumps it up again. And before you know it, you're risking that 2%, and you're psychologically comfortable with it. You're comfortable with your strategy. You're executing just fine, and you're well on your way. But the problem is everybody wants to be at the finish line right away. That's the problem. Everybody wants results right now. Like they see me risking that 2% and they think, well, Mike's doing it, I'll do it. I have a lot of years under my belt. I've been doing this since 2014. Okay, I'm a self-made millionaire. I have a lot of experience. This isn't me bragging. This isn't me brag when I say this, but you're not even remotely near my level in regards to trading, okay? You will be one day. Keep at it. You will be if you take the tips that I give you and you take it slow and steady. But you got to start with where you are. You got to start with if you're a beginner. You're a beginner trader, and that's okay. We were all beginners. I was a beginner at once, but every trader that you look up to in this business was once a beginner trader. Focus on the process. Take it one step at a time. Keep your head down, grind, and before you know it, you're going to be in that position that you once admired, that you once dreamed of. But it's going to take time. You're going to be patient, one step at a time, guys. One bite at a time. Hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.